Yo. So how we feeling? How we feeling, chat? Me personally, I'm feeling pretty good. I've already been reading stuff online. Of course, I was a couple of hours behind everybody else, but I've been reading stuff on Twitter, X, and some other stuff about how some people are I saw some people dogging out the tactics announcement. I'm like, man, just y'all need to hush with that. Just hush with that. I don't have ears for that. I don't. Welcome to everybody in here for the night stream. Am I going to start having a day stream and a night stream until y'all get sick of me? I think I might. I like streaming. It's fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy it greatly. Didn't mean to... Hang on. I got some tabs open here because I've been researching some stuff for the game. But give me just a moment. I'm going to try to get some things closed here. There we go. All right. Now. All right. So, yeah, we're going to be eating good the second half of the year. We're just getting started. Like, State of Play was just kind of the beginning of it this week. I'm not even counting. Hang on a second. Music's a little bit loud. I'm not even counting that State of Unreal. I'm not counting that. Witcher, man, we're so far out from The Witcher, it might as well not even be announced yet. Like, I've been doing some research and some digging and some asking around. Apparently, Witcher's about 3 years out. 3 years out from Witcher 4. 2 to 3 years is what I'm hearing. 2 years at best. At best, we're getting Witcher 4 in mid to late 2027. Most likely scenario, middle of 2028. So that might as well not even be announced yet. So people are like, what are your thoughts on The Witcher? My thoughts are, it's a great looking tech demo. But we've seen lots of great looking tech demos. That is my take on The Witcher. Sorry, clear my throat a little bit. Reading up on some of these comments. We're just getting a vibe for the room. What is everyone's take on the price of the game? I paid $60. You paid $60? But I see people legit pissed that it's more than Expedition 33 or even Oblivion without the level of budget. It's $49.99, right? Wasn't that the price of Expedition 33? I see the collector's edition for $200, doesn't it? Yeah, I know. The $200. What's up, Manji Marode? Welcome. Yeah, that's kind of, well, Square gonna square, right? Square gonna square. They know there is a market for this game. When Expedition 33 was launching, there was no market for Expedition 33. There were people who were hopeful, and there were people who were brought in to be a part of their grassroots campaign at Sandfall that were brought in, that were asked to be promoters and stuff like that, influencers, stuff like that. And that's smart business. But there was no built-in, fan base for it. There was a built-in fan base for this. Square knew they could charge $50 for it. I don't even think the PSP War of the Lions, I think that was $39.99 when it came out. I might be wrong about that, but I think this is more than that. But to be fair, there's more in this than that. So, yeah, there's a collector's box set that doesn't have the game for $200. It's a $199.99 US. Then there's a version that has the game and the collector's stuff for $250. The way I read it. So yeah, we go way back. We go way back with this Tactics remaster. We go back at least 3 or 4 years talking about this Tactics remaster here on the channel. They've been sitting on this. They have been absolutely sitting on this. I'm excited though. I'm excited to get my hands on it finally. I hate that I missed out on the collector's edition. But, you know, when you got a life and you got things going on, you miss out on collector's editions because you're not sitting anxiously by the computer waiting for it to open up. That's just the way it is, man. What's up, Evo? How you doing? I am pissed I missed out on that collector's edition. I am very pissed. But it is what it is. It is what your boy's got no luck. He's got no luck. No, Zach, like they announced The Witcher 4. Like they have announced The Witcher 4 was announced. Starring Ciri as the main character. That game is what I'm talking about. That game is 2 to 3 years away. From what I'm understanding. $50 is crazy. I pay $50 for one of the greatest games ever made on my PS5. Current resolution and specs. I'll get 60 hours out of that game. I'll get more fun and pleasure and time out of this game than I will almost all the AAA releases coming out in the next 2 years. Fact. Fact. Digital Deluxe? Okay, I see. Yeah, Manji, absolutely. This is one of the jewels in the crown as far as I'm concerned. This game, it's fully voiced. It's fully voiced. And look, let's just get into this real quick. So I've got the Square Enix blog pulled up. Let me see here. Square Enix blog pulled up. Here we go. So, yeah. So, what is Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles? So, they go through some breaking down what the game is, whatever. We know what the game is. Look at the quality of life stuff. One of the things I said last night on the stream was I really hope that they make it true widescreen. I was hoping they put some art in the background instead of these gradients, but they didn't. It's whatever. But it is true widescreen, 16:9 format. It is true. And over here, I love these right here. The order that characters are up and playing as. And you can see their sign. The zodiac signs actually played a bit of a role in your bravery and your faith and stuff in the original game, 2 games, the original OG and the War of the Lions. I like how each player marker is numbered on the board and you can see what their turns are. That's great. I love it. Like, one of the things, and you can see their job points down here, like they've added stuff to the UI that makes sense. Like the improvements they've made make sense. And let's not forget the $50 price point. I'm not defending it. I think this should be $40, but again, it's one of the top games of all time. I'll pay it, whatever. This is a lot of people's first experience with Final Fantasy Tactics, and Square gonna Square. They're gonna get every penny they can out of their properties. We know this. So This right here. I love this. This right here is worth the price of admission for me. A proper job tree. Like, if you're this, then you're going to get this. If you're these things, then you're going to be able to get this thing. Like, this was sorely missing from the original game. Sorely missing from the original game. 100%, 110%. 110%. I get how people are arguing price point. Doesn't matter. I mean, I don't argue prices and price point. Doesn't matter. Prices are set. Companies will set their prices what they want to set them at. Again, I think this should be $39.99, but it's $49.99. I'm like, whatever. Arguing prices is just looking for like some kind of recreational outrage. I don't deal in recreational outrage. Not anymore. Not anymore. If people are going to be mad about the prices, fine. But at the end of the day, pay it or don't pay it. I've seen a lot of those arguments online as well. Pay it or don't pay it, and move on. There's other things to talk about. You can make the argument about Bethesda wanting to get Oblivion out there, and Oblivion being the same price as Oblivion. But Oblivion's not as good of a game as Tactics. I love Oblivion. It's in my top 10 all time. It ain't in my top 5 like Tactics is. I mean, Oblivion's fine, but it's not Tactics. So I look at it like, pick your poison. Whichever way you want to argue, this is a better game than Oblivion. It's a better game, and it's the same price. I argue the other way. Like, you can do all this stuff and you pretty much full on remake Oblivion. I get it. I do want to get back to it because I love Cyrodiil. I want to go in there, run around and play, enjoy myself. It's going to be a good time. But that being said, Tactics is a better game than Oblivion. Full stop. Full stop. And now this is going to be fully voiced. That's the other thing too. They had to pay for new voice recordings. They had to pay for that. As far as like overhauling the game with the HD, and I can tell you for a fact, what Square probably had to pay to record these actors, because I'm sure if it wasn't SAG, it was another union, European or whatever. They're paying $1,000 a session for each of these voice actors. They're paying $1,000 a set. They're paying they're paying more than that. I think for the video game, for high-end AAA, or whatever you want to call it, like a Square Enix game, they're probably paying $5,000 to $6,000 a session for voice actors. So this being fully voiced, that's huge. People that argue price points don't know what goes into it. Like, as far as like building the game itself, everything I would say that you're paying for in this game is the post-production add-on stuff. Like your voice work, some of your UI tweaks, expounding it to widescreen, overhauling it. It's worth $50. It's worth $50. A lot of people that'll come out and be like, I wish it was only $30. I wish it was $19.99. Why is this PS1 remaster $29.99? I don't understand economics. No. Like, they had to completely overhaul this game. Full stop. You want 4K? You want it to look good on current consoles? Which it does. Which it absolutely does, just from the footage I've watched over and over since they showed it. It's a $50 game. I wish there were an art book in that collector's edition. I really do. But again, Manji, like, it's like Square Enix's collector's editions are ridiculous anyway. Like, half the people that got that Sephiroth statue from Rebirth was like, what, $300 for that collector's edition? Half of them were broken when they showed up. Half of them were janky looking when they showed up. So, I mean, I've seen pictures of like janky looking Sephiroth faces on those statues. I'm glad I missed that one. You know, I would have been mad if I got one of the janky ones, but $300 for that one, you know? And with this, I mean, it's $250 with the game. I'd be okay to pay that if I had landed one. But again, it's just whatever your cup of tea is. It's whatever your cup of tea is. If the collector's edition is too expensive for you, it's too expensive for me. I'll be honest with you. So it's whatever. Yeah. I didn't see that they had remade the animation sequences, but they looked remade to me. And I hope there are more of them. That's the other thing I said on the stream last night. I really hope there are more animation sequences. Because there are a ton of them. There are a ton of spots in the game where you could do an animation sequence, and they'd be great. I did see online, I did see on X where Brianna White and Cody Christiansen, or Christian, whatever his name is, will be voicing Cloud and Aerith in Tactics. So officially, if Aerith is being voiced in her little bitty cutscene that she has in, is it Dorter Trade City? No, it's Machine City. It's Gaug Machine City. I think that's where she pops up. If her little voice, her little part is voiced, they brought Brianna White in to voice that scene. It's everything is voiced. Everything will be voiced. No, I'm not saying you're whining. You're perfectly fine to argue the price point and stuff like that. That's cool. But for me, the price is a moot point. It's like prices are what prices are, you know. Especially when it comes to Square Enix. You know, we know how they operate with their pricing and stuff like that. They're very much, if you want it, buy it. If you don't, this is the price. Like Nintendo, their prices never come down. Never come down. You know, I mean, they'll remaster an old Mario game and it's like $60, $50, you know? Like this, like the remaster of Breath of the Wild is going to be $80. Nah, man, that's a price to complain about. Yep, Gaijin. From the way I understand it, the way you get all of the characters, even the War of the Lions characters, and I'm not sure, I don't know, but it sounds to me like they're going to be adding more characters that you could get as a bonus, as a surprise. I'm really excited about that. But yeah, getting Cloud, those mechanics will all work the same way. I don't think they're touching the actual game the way it plays out itself. I do hope they add missions. I love this UI. The UI, right? Like, I love the way this looks. Love it. Here's the old version. I love they put these side by side. Here's the new version. Look at this. Holy hell. Comparison. I love it. I love it. Chat, I love it. I love it. So let's see. What's new in Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles? A brand new user interface. Yeah, we've been talking about that. Updated visuals, of course. Voice acting. The story mode. The story now features full voice acting in English and Japanese from a talented cast, including Joe Pitts as Ramza, Greg Lowe as Delita, Hannah Melbourne as Agrius. I have to look her up. That's my favorite character. Agrius is my favorite character, and I don't think it's going to be the same voice actor from the PSP cutscenes. Or the PlayStation Vita cutscenes, whatever. Timothy Watson is Sidolphus, Harry McIntyre is Mustadio, Ben Starr is Dice Darg. That's interesting. That's interesting. It'll be fun to hear him play a villainous character. And cameos by Cody Christian. Christian, okay. I always want to say Christensen for some reason. Cloud from Final Fantasy VII Remake series, and Brianna White Aerith from Final Fantasy VII Remake. Okay, so they said it right here. Okay, I just saw it on X. Tactical view. The new feature makes it easier to Get the lay of the land and plan your actions across the battlefield. That'll be interesting to see what that is. Battle speed. Speed up battles. Yes, 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 yes. Speed up the battles. New difficulty levels. Do you want to really test your tactics, or are you in it more for the story? Story, please. New difficulty levels let you adjust the game to your playstyle. I am all in, man. White equipment for Ramza. You get a mithril knife. Who cares about a mithril knife? Part of your pre-order is you get a mithril knife. Oh, man. You get that like third battle. You can grind those out. Spiked boots. You get that in Chapter 1. Okay, so these pre-order extras are kind of whack. I will be honest there. These pre-order extras are kind of whack. Like white equipment. I wonder what does that mean? Is it talking about just the white mage equipment? I have to think about what that means. But I love the new user interface. I love the breaking down the class system the way they did with the job tree. I love that. It'll be interesting to see what other things they add and what other little surprises wait in the game. Enhanced or original? I'm gonna play enhanced. I'm gonna play enhanced. Absolutely. No, he's not Pedro Pascal yet. Not yet. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It includes the old game. It includes the new game. It's completely voice acted. All the visuals have been fixed, or not fixed, but like upgraded. Improved UI. There's gonna be some quality of life improvements in there, I'm sure. The map. They don't show the map. Well, that's the other thing, Rick G. That's a great point. Is like a lot of people haven't played this game in 17 years. When did War of the Lions come out? 07, 08? I've got it on my shelf. I can look up the date. Let me look up the date real quick. And I love the book that came with the PSP version. There's some really nice artwork in here. But anyway, that's not why I'm pulling the book out. Let's see. This was... Huh. Doesn't say on the package. Oh yeah, it does. 2007. Okay, 2007. There are people that haven't played this game in 18 years. That's who's gonna pay $50 for it. It's anytime a company chooses to remaster an old game. You remaster an old game now for PS5 this generation, and it's always going to live on their network. It's always going to live in their store. This game will live forever now. This game will now live forever, and people can play it and buy it and play it whenever they want. I think it's amazing. Neo 3, that was surprising. I thought that was Onimusha. I really did. But yeah, so I'm really stoked. So, that being said, we have another item of business to cover. So what were my bets, chat? What were my bets? My bets were... and I said I would wrap Summer Games Fest and PlayStation into the same thing. If a Chronoverse game is not announced, I will put in 10 gift subs. My money's probably not safe on that one. If a new Resident Evil game is not announced, I would put in 10 gift subs. We're still out on that one. We still might get that one Friday. When Final Fantasy Tactics is announced, I put in 10 gift subs. So, in the words of the Joker, who I have been scarily quoting a lot lately, I am a man of my word. A man of my word. So, once I get back to my YouTube channel here, because you have to do this from this chat window, I don't know why they make it so hard to do it, I will put in 10 gift memberships on your boy, because I'm a man of my word. Boom. 10 gift subs. Gift memberships. From Uncle Ray to whoever they land on. So, boom. Colin, he was in here last night. Let's see. A lot of these people I've never seen in the chat. Stina Fina, old schooler right there. Yep. Alright, cool. 10 gift subs in the chat. As promised. Man of my word. No, I didn't make a bet on FF9 Remake. I didn't. Everybody was wanting me to, and I didn't do it. But it was Chronoverse game, new Resident Evil, and the Final Fantasy Tactics thing. What up, Sean? How we doing tonight? I am happy to put in the gift subs because we got Final Fantasy Tactics. It got announced. Oh, for a shadow drop of Tactics, it was going to be a lot more. It was going to be, I was going to throw in like 20, 25 gift subs if they shadow dropped it. So let's talk about Metal Gear for a minute. Metal Gear Delta, look, the environment looks great and everything, but something about the character faces, especially Ocelot. His face looked like a PlayStation 3 game. Like his face looked like a face you would see on a PlayStation 3 game. Maybe that was just the shot. Maybe that was something else going on there. But to me, the shots of the faces and stuff, they just didn't look good. The environments and all that kind of stuff look great, but yeah. They looked odd. They looked off. And yeah, like the character models and the faces just looked odd. I don't know. If the frame rate was terrible, it really was. But I can forgive frame rate on stuff because it's not something I care about, really. But no, the character models and the faces looked off. They looked off. I was really surprised. I was waiting to get blown away because I figured we'd see Metal Gear. And I'll be honest, man, I wasn't blown away. I wasn't. I don't know. I mean, maybe that's a weird take. Maybe it's because I was still, in another headspace because of what we had already seen. But I don't know. It just looked off. That was just me. Yeah, well, that's the thing too. Is there's some wacky stuff in, like, it showed. What's the old sniper's name in Delta? The old man. It showed him fighting him. It showed a lot of his fight and everything. And I was like, there's some weird stuff. There's some weird stuff in that game. There's some weird stuff in that fight. And for the first time since Delta got announced, I was like, oh, I don't know if this is going to hit. Like, I know a lot of people are going to buy it. I'm going to pick it up and play it. But for the first time, I was like, man, I don't know. I was like, the end. Thank you. That was his name. But yeah, chat, for the first time I was like, wow, I really wish they had done Shadow Moses, you know? But if you're starting at the beginning of the saga, which is what I think they're doing, I think they will do all of them. I absolutely think they'll do all of them at some point, if this one hits. But I want Shadow Moses, man. That first game is special. That first Metal Gear game is Metal Gear Solid game is really special. And I know a lot of people prefer like Snake Eater's their favorite. Snake Eater is very, very good. It's really good. I didn't finish Guns of the Patriots just because I got bored with it. I got so bored with Guns of the Patriots on PS3. I went back and watched the ending at some point years ago. I watched the ending on YouTube, and I don't know. I didn't like 2, but as I got into 2, I was stomaching through it, and I got through it, and I enjoyed the ending and kind of what it was saying about the world and communication and where things were going with like artificial intelligence and stuff. The first game for me is the best. Yeah. But yeah, for me the first game is the best game. Well, not talking about the Nintendo games, Metal Gear and Snake's Revenge. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the first Metal Gear Solid. But yeah, that looks weird. Metal Gear Solid's incredible. I always thought back in like the mid to late 2000s, like I wish they had done a Metal Gear movie then and Hugh Jackman could have played Snake. I always thought Hugh Jackman would have been just an incredible Snake. But now that movie's never going to get made. It's in development hell. PS1 really was legendary. That was the era where everybody was like, okay, let's take some risks. We're printing on these cheap discs. Let's take some risks. I really loved that era. Some other stuff from the State of Play? Silent Hill. Silent Hill F looks man, Silent Hill like, that game looks eerie. That game looks hella creepy. And I'm here for it. New Luminous game looks awesome. I love Luminous. I loved Luminous back in the day on my PSP. I would play it in between classes in college. That was kind of my go-to a lot of times. If I was bored, if I was on a bus or something like that, pull out the PSP, play some Luminous. I like that they're bringing that back. No Mega Man Legends Remaster. No Mega Man Legends Remaster. And Capcom is saving the new Resident Evil for the big show. For the big show on Friday, we will see Resident Evil. Pragmata looks awesome. That game looks awesome. It really looked like, obviously you got like a little girl on your shoulder. It looked a lot like BioShock. It really felt like BioShock, but it was it looked gorgeous. The game was gorgeous. So I think they've really got a hit on their hands with that game. Capcom, banger after banger. Banger after banger from Capcom. Neo, Ghost of Yotei. I feel like they're doing its own like gameplay event. I feel like I know how it's gonna play. Like if you play Ghost of Tsushima to completion, they're not gonna mess with a pretty perfect system, right? So they're gonna tweak some things. They're gonna add some things. Probably add some quality of life stuff to how the game plays or whatever. Like your speed, drawing speed, all that kind of stuff. But I don't see it in my mind being a situation where I'm like, oh man, I gotta drop what I'm doing and go watch this event. I'm gonna get Ghost of Yotei. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great. But I just don't see the need for it to have its own little event, So I might be in the minority on that one. Fix something real quick. Huh. Yeah, I think you will. I think you will be able to issue orders to the wolf. Yeah, I mean, the Ghost of Yotei thing, I feel like that's just Sony just being like, yo, look, we're going to have our own gameplay event for this, our own little first-party title here. Not necessary. That's just Sony trying to flex. It's unnecessary. They could have shown it there. Like that Marvel game they showed, Tonka or whatever that was called. I forget what it was called. That didn't need to be like this whole like dramatic behind the scenes. Look, we're all coming together to work together. That's what everybody does on any game where a publisher has another company's IP and they bring another studio in to work on it. Every company does that every day. Like, I thought that was really strange. It felt like, yeah, the Marvel thing, it was, yeah. I felt like that was like, we gotta fill some time. Hey, here's your 40-minute presentation. Hey, we got 40 minutes for you. No, you had 30. You had 30 minutes for us. They had a little too much VR2 and 10 minutes of that Marvel thing. I don't even count that. That is a one-off announcement kind of thing. That is your 60-second, hey, check this thing out we got coming. We've been working on it. And they've got a lot more work to do because it's got to have more than 8 to 10 characters, right? So they've got more work to do. If you're doing a 4v4 tag game, you got to bring it with more than 8 characters. The same 8 characters they trotted out there for all those segments. So I think it looks cool. Arc System Works, they're amazing. We know it's going to be good. Guilty Gear is like one of my favorite fighting games. So they're going to bring it, but they didn't have to go for the primetime Emmy with their Marvel 4v4 anime mashup game. Didn't have to go for the primetime Emmy on that one. Though I respect the hustle. I respect the hustle. What a waste of time. It really felt like a waste of time. Yeah, well, that's the point I was working toward MXT. Was, you know, you're going to have your own Ghost of Yotei thing. You make the Marvel thing 1 or 2 minutes, and then you bump the, 8 minutes of Ghost of Yotei to the end, and you've got a full, well, it feels like a full, healthy presentation, state of play, full 40 minutes. No complaints. Now, you wanted to get more bang for your buck. You wanted to get out there with another special for this first party game you got coming up. You want to get more, more ammo in the barrel, so to speak. So you do this weird thing. You shuffle things around. And for those that don't know, these state of plays, they are completely shuffled around up until about 36 to 48 hours before they go live with it. Like, they're constantly editing things in and out. That's why they've got a lot of those place markers in between with the X circle, square, triangle things floating around, and like, weird, ambient music and stuff. And that's the segue, so they can plug little things in there. These things are edited to hell and back. There was one famously a couple of years ago. I want to say it has something to do with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. That Rebirth was pulled from it at like the last second because they were going to show it at Summer. I guess it was last year. No, it was the year before. Yeah, it was the year before because Summer Games Fest was getting the trailer. And it wasn't State of Play. It was something like that. And they also did something similar for Resident Evil as well. But yeah, those things are edited to hell and back up until about a day and a half, 2 days before they actually air. I like fighting games. I don't play them here on the channel. I don't play them here on the channel, but I do enjoy fighting games. Just, I know I'm not good at them, so I can just go in and ham it up and just have fun and try to pull off some combos and some finishers and stuff and call it a day. Like, I know I'm not gonna be competing, you know. Yeah, that's exactly what happened with Ghost of Yotei today. What happened with Rebirth a couple of years ago is exactly what happened with Ghost of Yotei today. Exactly what happened. So, we'll see. We'll see what it is. We'll see what happens. But, those are my thoughts on State of Play. There was a lot of really good stuff. The Digimon game, the Digimon / Persona-inspired Digimon game, looks really good. Ooh, Bloodstained. Bloodstained and Ninja Gaiden look amazing. That Ninja Gaiden game looks awesome. That's probably... So, what are we thinking on the Ninja Gaiden game price? How much we think it's going to cost? About 20 bucks? About $19.99? Maybe $24.99? I can't see that being $30. I can't see that being 30 bucks. My favorite fighting game, Tekken 3. Tekken 3. I was a badass at Tekken 3 at the arcade. I was a badass. Tekken 3 and Mortal Kombat 2. Gaijin. Yeah, I love the first Bloodstained. I love the 8-bit Bloodstains that they did as well. The Circle of the Moon. I think they did too. I didn't play the... I bought the second one, but I never played it. But Circle of the Moon was really good. I did too, because one of those protagonists, I swear to you, looked like Leon Belmont. I was like, oh my god, what are they doing? Is this going to be post Lament of Innocence? Are we getting a post Lament of Innocence Metroidvania? Is that what we're doing here? You got me, Konami. I take back everything I said. And no, I put everything I said back on the table. Nah, man. It's Bloodstained. It's Iga. It's Iga coming out and doing his thing. Hold up a sec. Hold up a sec. Hold up a sec. I gotta check something out real quick. Bump, 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 bump. See. Currently unavailable. Damn. Keep trying to get this tactics thing. So I've got people working. I'm trying to get this tactics box set pre-ordered. It just will not happen. It will not, currently unavailable. It will not happen. Oh my god. Oh man, tag tournament, dude. That was a great party game. That was an awesome party game. Do Vin and Michelle show up on Friday? I love playing Tekken. I love hanging out on the set with everybody and playing Tekken. Oh my god. That will forever be. She'll never live that down. She will never live that down. Yeah, you must have got lucky. I don't know what's going on over there. I keep refreshing. I keep refreshing. I keep refreshing. Hoping against hope. Currently unavailable. Currently unavailable. Currently unavailable. Currently unavailable. Currently unavailable. Let's see. Yep, currently unavailable. Currently unavailable. I can get the Suck $49.99 comes with nothing edition easily right now, but if I was going to do that, I'll just wait and go to the store and buy it. You don't need to pre-order just a regular game. You just go to the store and get it. Yeah, Collector's Edition of Game Bundle. The one over on the Square Enix store. You know what? I'm going to keep checking Amazon too. Because Amazon had a listing for it. I don't think this thing's going to be hard to find. Currently unavailable on Amazon as well. So, anywho. Anyway, I'll put that to bed for now. Yeah, so Tekken. Digital only, or do they have a physical? Tactics will have a physical release. It will have a physical game. Yes, we will have a physical copy of that game. Def Jam Vendetta was super sick, Chris. Def Jam Vendetta was awesome. Awesome. A remake of that would be great. Like, what would a Def Jam Vendetta 2 look like? Is it just like all the old school rappers like beating up a bunch of mumble rappers? Is that what it would be? Wu-Tang Clan come out and beat up all the mumble rappers. That'd be great. And then, yeah, I would pay for that game. I'd pay for that game. The tracking info. I saw a bunch of people lined up at GameStop today. I think the GameStop in my town was handing out the Switch 2s early. I mean, I hope not. I don't want anybody to get in trouble, but they were there for something today. I thought it was maybe the Switch 2s. I know those don't come out until Friday. I'm not shocked it sold out quickly, Zach, because I wanted it. Anytime I am away from the house doing a family event or something, which I will never not do. Those are always grade A, top of the list things for me to do, family events, because life is short. Always, always, always spend time with people you love, no matter what. But that being said, anytime a really cool collector's edition of anything is coming out, I'm always at some kind of family thing, and I can't, like, it's a thing where I can't access my phone. Like, I didn't even know the game was coming out. Like, I 99% was sure they were going to announce it, but I didn't know if it was going to be a shadow drop, digital only, what's the deal, what's the release date, are they going to do pre-orders? I mean, I didn't know what the deal was, and by the time I did know what the deal was, it was already too late. Already too late. Arch Rivals on NES? Yes, sir. I played Arch Rivals on NES. That was a fun game. I'm not disappointed. No Wolverine. I love Wolverine. I love X-Men. But I'm like, we don't even know what this game's going to be. So we might get it at Summer Games Fest. we might not see anything till next year. But I've not been super invested in it, to be honest. Well, this isn't a remake, Scott. It's a remaster. But, I mean, it's beautiful. The game is perfect for what it is. It's a game board with pieces. And there's not a whole lot of ways you could, like, maybe remake that. I think it's perfect. I love the way they march in place. I love the boards. Just update that artwork for us like we see right here. I'm good. I'm good, man. I'm on board. I'm totally good. Yeah. Oh, is that what that was, Shin? Okay. Okay. Okay, alright. See the trailer to Marvel Hydra game. Looks legit. No, but I've heard about it. Isn't it Captain America and Black Panther? It's like Marvel 1932 or something like that. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah. Yeah, I agree with that, Zach. Yeah. After seeing the Oblivion remaster, like, that game's a remake. I don't care what anybody says. They remade that game. Oh no! Target, I heard they blundered it somehow, but I didn't know what the details were on that. Wow. Wow. Oh my god. They truly shat the bed. That is a big blunder. Wow. I wonder if their copies, I wonder if their units are stuck in port or something. Dude, you know, like, in Tactics, my trick for getting stupid, like, levels early on was I always put Ramza in the middle of the plus formation, the plus sign formation, and just have him punch people that have auto potion. Just have him punch people that have auto potion. Just get job points like crazy until he gets his concentration abilities and the other things where he can buff himself, and just put him in the middle of the plus sign, and just whoever you're wanting to level, put them in the middle of it and just use their Squire abilities to buff themselves the whole time, and then just wreck boards. Arriving Sunday. You'll probably get it Saturday, Peach Booty. You'll probably get it on Saturday. Like, anytime I've ordered anything from GameStop, it always arrives a day earlier than it says it's going to. But that's my other thing with pre-ordering games that you want to play. Like, if I pre-order a game, I set aside time or whatever, I want to play that game at midnight. I wish, and I know why they don't do it, because you could get your physical game and then just sell it because you got the digital copy. But I wish there was some way for them to, like, if you pre-order a physical game, then you get a digital unlock for it. Now, I know they can't do that for the reasons I specified, but I wish there was some way they could do that. Some way they could figure out how to make that happen. Because I would probably pre-order more games if I could do that. As it stands now, I just buy whatever I want when it comes out. If it's not something I really want on my shelf, I'll just get a physical copy of it. If it's something I really want on my shelf, sometimes I'll double dip. But yeah, so State of Play, I think was a good show. I think it was a good show. We saw a lot of things that are, and here's the other thing, everything they showed, they could have shown other things, but they didn't. I think the reason we didn't see Wolverine, from Insomniac was because it's not coming out in 2026. Everything they showed at this was coming out in like 2026. Everything was 2026 or sooner. This year, later this summer, this fall, 2026. Everything was like within a year. So I think they really wanted to do that to hype people up. It's like, hey, we got a lot of great stuff coming by at worst end of next year. So I think that was a good way. That was a good way to hone in on what they wanted to showcase. Just took the next 2 days. Hopefully, yeah. Just play Oblivion. Yeah. Speaking of, I am almost to the end of Clair Obscur. So show of hands, or you all just tell me in the chat, without spoiling anything, if I go to New Lumiere now, how long do I have to finish the game? How long does it take to finish the game if I go to New Lumiere now? Exactly, Zach. Yeah, I mean, I had a feeling that, and I said it a few months ago, I can't remember if it was a stream or in a video that I did, but right when I came back to streaming to finish Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and all that kind of stuff, I felt like the game industry had been building to this year, to 2025 and beyond. Like, they recovered from COVID, and the years that set everybody back. It set most companies back about 2 years, COVID did. But people are getting back on a roll. They've got their marketing departments working overtime. They've got things rolling, things rocking. Not necessarily in that order. Could be rocking and rolling. We don't know. And it felt like the second half of this year was going to be when we start seeing the fruits of everybody coming back from COVID. Like, starting to make it happen. So it's a really cool time. So I figured the timelines match up on, as far as like the business side of things goes, how long development time takes, how long I've been hearing horror stories of what had been happening at some of these companies with like trying to manage the things you don't hear about. It's the things you don't hear about. It's like the server crashes, the linking to the work server not working. There was a lot of that happening with Square. There was a lot of that happening with, other companies. There were more than a few. Just logistical nightmares with making this happen, because working on a big AAA game will fry a regular computer or a Mac. It will just turn it into a toaster. So making that stuff logistically work was tough. They figured it out. They got it rolling. And now there's a lot of return to office mandates happening with these companies or whatever. That's why you're seeing some people get laid off or whatever, because like people were working remotely and they live on the other side of the country and it wasn't going to be able to make it happen. So, all that being said and some other things, I felt like the second half of 2025 really felt like it was going to be when the industry got back on its feet. And here we are. Here we are. So, I'm really excited. Hang on a second. Alright, checking one more time. Checking one more time. These things are time sensitive. You gotta go. Let's see. Currently unavailable. How's that possible? How's that possible? It's like, you live in Kentucky. You don't get one. Okay. I've got friends in other parts of the country that are like, hey, this is my screen right now. And it's like, pre-order, put it in your cart. And I'm like, what? What? You live in Kentucky. Get out of here. You don't get one. That's right, Faith Giant. Final Fantasy Tactics. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's why I figured the second half of this year we were going to start eating really well A lot of stuff's going to be coming out. Remember those NVIDIA leaks came out, what was it, 2021? When everybody was still trying to figure out. So when COVID happened, everything that's in those NVIDIA leaks had been planned. COVID set everything way back. This Final Fantasy IX remake that's absolutely happening, also set back. Ohio, hey, I'll be in Cincinnati in October for the Cincinnati Comic Expo. I'll have a booth. I'll be set up. I'll be rocking and rolling. You got to come out. Curious to what Square announces at Summer Games Fest. I think we get our first look at the third Final Fantasy game, Final Fantasy VII entry. Final Fantasy VII Redemption. Final Fantasy VII Redemption. I think we get our first look and maybe the official name. So people can stop calling me a pompous ass every time I call it Final Fantasy VII Redemption. You gotta speak with conviction. You gotta be confident in yourself. Even if at the end of the day you're putting your clown makeup on, be confident when you're rocking it. You know, Joker style, baby. Not all clowns are bad. Yeah, it's actually it's not in Cincinnati. It's in Sharonville. I'm sure you know where that's at. I think that's where they do all their conventions now. But yeah, it'll be in Sharonville. GTA 6 being delayed, yep. But also, I don't think people aren't going to believe this, but a lot of companies don't care when other games are coming out, especially if they're like not the genre that you're working in. You know what I mean? Like Luminous doesn't care when GTA 6 comes out. Like a Final Fantasy Tactics, it wouldn't matter when GTA 6 is coming out. So there are people at these companies that run data algorithms all day. They're like, our best window to do this is here, here, here because of these things. Because of this is our demographic. These are the industries they work in. This is how these industries are doing right now. If we want the most bang for our buck when they're at their peak season, we want to release our games. There's a lot of stuff that goes into like figuring out when to release a game outside of just when Rockstar is putting out the next Grand Theft Auto. That has a hand in it, but that's not the end-all be-all. Exactly, Zach. That's exactly the point. Seeing FF9 would be cool. Resident Evil 9, Summer Games Fest, yes. Yes, absolutely. I need to save 10 of these gift subs, so I need Resident Evil to be at Summer Games Fest. I said any Resident Evil game. It could be a remake. It could be a port of Resident Evil Gaiden for the Game Boy Color. It could be it could be anything. New Resident Evil game at Summer Games Fest. Here you go. Resident Evil Gaiden for those who missed it. This epic adventure on the high seas with Leon Kennedy and Barry Burton. Here you go. Right here. That's got my money. I do sometimes, Rick. I have been through there. I'm not doing those this year, though. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is the big bully on the block for sure. Trying to remember, there was a game. I want to say it was a Square Enix game that released like within 2 weeks of Metal Gear, Grand Theft Auto 5 when that dropped 30 years ago. I can't remember what it was though. Oh, Charleston, South Carolina. I did a show there a few years ago. That was a good place. We did, Chris. We did, but that doesn't really count. But Good thinking. You know, I thought Resident Evil 2 was on the classics, but I guess it's not. Might have to boot that up and play it on my PS5. Oh, sorry about that. I thought you were one of them. What's going on here? The whole town was infested with zombies. The Kendo gun shop. I love that scene. Oh, sorry about that. I thought you were one of them. Like, Kendo sounds like Esquier. That's kind of funny. And unintentional. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You're right, Zach. Yeah, Horizon released before Elden Ring. Oh, wait, no. It may have been the first Horizon that came out, like, real close to Grand Theft Auto 5. You know what? It might have been. It might have been that, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's the one. But yeah, I really think that we are here. Hang on a second. There we go. Put it back on this. I really think yeah, this Final Fantasy Tactics Special Edition thing is wild. You know, I'm going to rant for a minute. The way these places do pre-orders is legendarily stupid. And yeah, this is going to come off a little bit whiny, but I don't care. I need to get it off my chest. Like, oh, that's funny, Faith Giant. The way these companies do pre-orders, it's like, instead of being like, you know, we have X amount, we've got 5,000, 10,000, whatever. I get. If you're going to have them numbered, and you want them to be worth like $10,000 in 10 years or something like that. But these companies don't do that. They give you cheap printed PVC statues that are painted and shipped. The whole package costs them maybe $40 because they mass produce everything, right? Why not say, for these 3 days, we got the pre-orders up. Whatever comes in, we're going to make that, and that's it. That's the cutoff. Instead, what they do is they'll have a few available, and then a couple of days later, they'll open it up again once they set another number. Have one big set number that you want to hit, right? And don't make them yet. Let the orders come in. Let it be a 4 to 6 month window because you can get the stock made. Or these people can have the stock made in 2 weeks. I mean, if they were to get 50,000 pre-orders for this set for Final Fantasy Tactics, they could have those made in 2 weeks. Ready to ship in 1 month. Just sitting there in boxes waiting to go out to people that ordered it on September 27th or whenever they shipped for the 30th. I don't understand why they don't work smarter with this stuff. Because it's like, if you're not sitting in front of a computer when these things go up, you don't get one. I was pissed when I missed the Resident Evil, the Leon Kennedy Resident Evil 4 thing. I was working a double when that happened. So pissed. Unless you're living in front of your computer or you're a full-time content creator and you work from home, you never leave the house, you order pizza, whatever, you don't get one. And the scalpers that sit behind their computers and just buy them all day and then put them on eBay for like 500 to 1,000% markup. It's just crazy, man. it's hard to get, and I've really become disenfranchised with collector's sets over the years. That's why I've sold some of my collection stuff, and I don't have any on my shelves anymore, because I was just like, I can't get them anyway because I have a life and I have to work. And it sucks, but it is what it is. Anyway, that's my rant on pre-ordering special editions. Should be called the exclusive few editions. It's not even special, it's the exclusive few editions. So anyway, that's my rant on that. I know nobody wanted to hear that, but I wanted to get that off my chest. So thank you all for indulging me. We got 30 people in the chat right now. Welcome everyone. How's everybody doing? Oh, well, see, Zach, that's super lucky. That's super lucky. Oh, dude, yeah, like, I know Dragon Con is it's a long week. That's a long week. MomoCon, I'm trying to remember which one that is. I think I know, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'm excited for the new cutscenes too, Air Ace. I think they're going to be really good. And that was my one complaint with the War of the Lions on PSP, other than the fact that it was on PSP, was that there weren't enough of those animated cutscenes. There were so many. Like, the first time, like, I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but the first time you fight one of the Zodiac monsters in the castle is I think the track is called The Pervert. It's a wobble, 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 wobble. Like, such a cool fight. I felt like the opening, the setup for that fight could have been like an animated cutscene. I was hoping, because I knew it was coming. It's it's when you're fighting Wygriff. It's the setup fight is Wygriff, where you're having to run from him and use the auto potion. If you don't have auto potion, you're screwed. But yeah, that was the setup fight. But I thought that would be a great animated cutscene area. Dude, working a con is hard. I've never done one. I've never worked one. But whenever I'm a guest at shows, or if I just even pay for a table or something at a major show, like, those people are working so hard. You know, they'll come by. You can see the fatigue on their face. You good? You need some water? Need a bathroom break or anything? I'm like, nah, man. You go. You go. You go find you someplace in the back. Crawl into a truck and get you a nap. That's hard work. I want to burn. I want them, but my bank account says no. Yes. Yes, that's usually the case. That is usually the case. But yeah, so today, big win with the State of Play. I was very excited about what they did. I thought we saw that moving forward, they didn't even talk about Lost Soul Aside. They didn't even talk about Death Stranding. You know, however you feel about those games, however you feel about them, but there's no doubt those are going to be big games when they come out. There's so many other games that they didn't even talk about. That God of War game, right? That side-scrolling God of War game that we heard about, that was supposedly leaked or whatever. Not there. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's in the works that wasn't there. Because I think they were just trying to focus on what's coming out no later than 2026. I thought that was a really good strategy. Everybody finished the show, for the most part, that I could tell, feeling happy about the state of things. And feeling really good about, you know, the quality of what they saw, the games they saw. Summer Games Fest, I think we're going to see some things, some bigger things that are going to be a little bit further out. Final Fantasy VII Redemption. I think we could see a a title reveal trailer. I think we could. Oh, dude. Yeah, that's a rough one too. That's a rough one too. But I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be back in just a moment, and I'll be kind of, well, we'll talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. I'll be right back. We got other things to cover, but I'm going to take a quick break, and I'll be back in just a moment. like. I think tomorrow night I am going to just go ahead and finish Clair Obscur, and then like I'm just gonna take my time, like finishing out all the side stuff and everything after the fact. Like I think I want to go ahead and wrap up the story, see how the story ends. I want to get, you know. I want to get that knocked out, and then next Monday or Tuesday, I want to do my review stream and other stuff. Newsflash: unless, like I said last night, unless this game completely just jumps the shark, like it's going to get a pretty glowing score from me. It's been very impressive. Like it is. Not many games make me go back and rethink like my top 5, much less even my top 3 games of all time. But this one's doing that. I'm really enjoying my time with it. The characters are great, story is excellent, music's phenomenal, art is impeccable, and the gameplay is some of my favorite in years. But I do want to get the game finished. I do want to get in there, finish the game, and kind of move on. I want to start Lunar. I want to get that. Minoko and SKA's side quests can be done immediately. Mael's is long. I finished Ciel. I finished Lune. Lune was that hard worm boss fight thing. I was like, God, man. But yeah, I'm debating on whether or not to knock out all those. I might knock out the personal side quests first. I might do that. You know what? I think I will. I think I'll knock out the personal side quests, and then maybe Friday night. Tomorrow night I'll knock out the personal side quests, and we'll do some chatting and stuff. And then Friday night, we'll obviously talk about Summer Games Fest, opening night. And then we'll go finish Clair Obscur. I could start next week with review stuff, thoughts, review. And then we'll start fresh on some other stuff. What stuff would you all like to see me play? What stuff is out that you all be curious to get my take on or watch me play? I am curious about that. Because I think I'm going to start Lunar unless you all want to see me do something else. So I would be very interested. And I might even put a poll up or, put a post up and ask for suggestions. I might do that. But since we're live here on stream with you all, with you good folks here, figured I would ask. Somebody was talking about fighting games earlier. I was like, I'm not a fighting game streamer because I'm terrible at them, but I do enjoy them. It made me think about other genres, like Metroidvanias, platformers, action games, and stuff. There's a bunch of stuff I'd love to get to. Try the Octopath Traveler 2 demo. Suikoden. I need to get into Suikoden. But I think Lunar is going to happen first, probably. Play the Neo 3 demo. Look, I want to check that demo out. I do. So that demo is probably going to happen. I wish they had a tactics demo. I want to see what the new game feels like and looks like. Metaphor. I heard Metaphor is good. I heard Metaphor is very good. Yeah, the new Prince of Persia looks really fun too. Good suggests. I'm sure there's a few things in there that I could probably sink my teeth into and enjoy. That new Bloodstained. I remember back in the Kickstarter for that original Bloodstained, and finally getting it in my hands, I was like, wow. You know, like Iga Kogarashi, I can't remember how you say his last name, or his family name. I felt like, wow, what a journey. You know, I think it was 5 or 6 years it took from the time I backed that Kickstarter to the time that game dropped. And I felt like it was such a time investment, and it was such a good investment. Every time I play Bloodstained, I'll boot it up every now and then just to play it. I feel good because I feel like I had a hand in making it, you know? Like, I backed it at like a really high tier. So I felt like I at least paid for 3 of the devs to work for an hour on it. That was good. Visions of Mana is absolutely on my list. Anything that's a remake, remaster, or straight up port of an old JRPG that's come out in the last year is absolutely on my list. Sadly, we'll never get my Grand Stream Saga remake. We'll never get my Grand Stream Saga remake. You know, that might be one. I've always wanted to go back and play the Grand Stream Saga on stream for everybody. Star Wars Battlefront 2. I probably won't stream that. I'll just become a Fortnite streamer. There we go. Problem solved. No more JRPGs. I'll just do Fortnite and Call of Duty. Fortnite and Call of Duty. Streamer. I'll be the one getting teabagged all the time. Now the Onimusha remasters, yes, I do want to get into those. Because Onimusha 1 especially always felt so much like Devil May Cry to me. I love that game. Capcom's got so many bangers. You know, that they just don't do much with. Onimusha, they're doing stuff with it now. But then you got like Dino Crisis, you've got, of course, your Devil May Cries, your Resident Evils. Beautiful Joe. You know, Beautiful Joe was a fantastic game on GameCube. I think they did a PS2 port, if I'm not mistaken. But that was good. Ninja Gaiden Black, I have not played that. But that new Ninja Gaiden, that side-scroller, looks awesome. South of Midnight. I've heard of that. But yeah, all kinds of good stuff. Metaphor Refantasio has been on my radar for a while. Didn't that get the GOTY last year? Or it was up for Game of the Year. No, that's right. Astrobot got it. Metaphor got like Best RPG, I think it was. Like it beat out Rebirth. Beat out Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. But it's like I've said about Rebirth, everybody's like, oh, it never gets GOTY. Look, they know. Just like the Academy Awards knew in the 2001, 02, and 03 seasons, that once this thing is complete, much like The Lord of the Rings, it would have to win Best Picture the last year it's available. Final Fantasy VII Redemption will get Game of the Year. Because it'll be kind of a reward for like the whole project. Because you can make an argument that Final Fantasy VII Remake Saga, each game could have won Game of the Year each time they came out. You could make that argument. Well, that's the thing that's kept me away from Metaphor, Scott, is the fact that it is so long. I've got maybe 3 hours a night to stream. Yeah. That's why I've never jumped on it. I've always been curious about it because I've heard great things about the story and the characters. But it's just a time commitment I don't think I can make right now with everything going on. But we'll see. Well, chat, it's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun, like all day. But I have got to get off here. I don't know if you've noticed, but I am starting to fall asleep. I'm starting to get tired. It's been a long day, very long day. But anyway, we'll be back on tomorrow night. We'll be back to playing Clair Obscure, finishing things up, getting things knocked out. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening, and be sure to stop by early and often. We do these streams every night, pretty much now. I stream every night. I'm going to have to get a set schedule because I don't think every single night will be, well, how shall we say, sustainable forever, obviously. But I do enjoy doing it every night. But we might go to just like off on Sunday nights or something like that. I don't know. Usually by the seat of my pants. I'll make a schedule and then not even adhere to the schedule. So anyway, that's coming soon. Hope you all have a great night. Be safe. Be good to each other. Keep rocking. And what, Chris? What did you call me? People have been calling me that in the chat too tonight. The what was it? Here, I gotta look. I'm trying to look at my Discord right now. Hold up. Hold up. Anyway, it'll come to me. It'll come to me. I enjoy that nickname. I appreciate you all. But I'm going to hop off here for the night. Hope y'all have a great night. Be safe. Raystradamus. That's what it was. Thank you, Leslie Q. Might have to make like a little Raystradamus cartoon animated looking character for my little intro thing. Anytime we're doing predictions videos. Any night. Anyway, y'all have a great night. Be safe, be good to each other. Keep rocking. I will see you all tomorrow night for more Clair Obscure and some more conversation. Until then, y'all have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow.
Powerful must rule the weak. It is our duty.
Heavens fall upon your crown!
This vile charade has gone on long enough. It ends now.
O Father, abandon not your wayward children of Ivalice, but deliver us from our sins, that we might know salvation.
If you feel wrong, blame yourself or the Father.
Why do you fight? Why walk this path of subterfuge and conflict?
The powerful must rule the weak. It is our duty.
Heavens fall upon your crown!
This vile charade has gone on long enough. It ends now.
Do you remember when your father showed us how to make a whistle of a blade of grass?